Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 list. In this top 10 list, I want to talk about teen movies. Yes, teen movies. Not chick flicks. I already did a top 10 list of that. I'm going to do my top 10 of my personal favorite teen movies. If you don't know what a teen movie is, it's movies about teenagers. Yeah, comedies, dramas, just whatever. Movies about teenagers, whether they're in high school or about their lives and everything. Yeah, there's a lot of good teen movies, and honestly, I wanted to make a top 10 of my personal favorites. Yeah, here we go. Here's my top 10 personal favorite teen movies. And as always, before a top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions. And my honorable mentions for teen movies are Pretty in Pink, Easy A, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Varsity Blues, 16 Candles, Superbad, and Juno. All great films, just couldn't make the top 10 list. What did make my top 10 list was my number 10, and that is the movie 10 Things I Hate About You. Yes, this is a teen version of the Shakespeare play Taming of the Shrew. And this movie stars a great cast: Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Julia Stiles, Heath Ledger, Allison Janney, and Gabrielle Union. And yeah, the cast in this movie is solid, and this movie is really, really good. This came out in the 90s, and honestly, I never saw this movie up until like 8 years ago, and I always thought this would be like this bad chick flick movie, but honestly, it's a really good teen comedy. And yeah, Heath Ledger, gosh, man, he kills it in this movie. And the story of this movie is basically about a young guy named Cameron, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He wants to date this popular girl. The only way this popular girl can go on any dates is that her sister can go on dates. So he tries to get Heath Ledger to date the sister so he can go date this popular girl. And yeah, and this movie is very funny. Kind of stereotype characters, but the actors playing them do a good job. And the movie is funny. Like, it's got some classic scenes, you know, like this scene with Heath Ledger he's on the bleachers singing the song, I love you, baby, 'cause you're not okay, I need you, baby. Okay. I gotta stop singing. But yeah, Heath Ledger's great, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's great, the comedy in this movie's good. It's a little cliche, it's a little predictable, the characters are all stereotypes. Awesome, it's a great adaptation of Taming of the Shrew, and I love 10 Things I Hate About You. It's awesome. You say I'm not a pretty guy? Number 9 is The Breakfast Club. Of course, John Hughes' The Breakfast Club. This movie is freaking awesome. 1985, The Breakfast Club. I love this movie. Of course, this movie is written and directed by John Hughes. This guy is fantastic. He knows how to write good teen characters like Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles. But this is my all-time favorite John Hughes movie. I love this movie. I love these characters. I love them all. Yes, you got the jock, you got the basket case, you got the brain, you got the criminal, the princess. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. And the principal. He doesn't count. But yeah, I love these characters. Millie Estevez, Anthony Michael Hall, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, what's her name? Ali Sheedy, all of them great in this movie, and the chemistry between all of them really, really works for this film. And yeah, I really felt bad for these characters, especially the character Brian. He, honestly, in this movie, I'm like a mixture between like Brian and Ali Sheedy's character. I'm the basket case and the brain, pretty much. That was me in high school, and that's still me now. And I love this movie. I love the conversations these kids have with each other. And again, the performances are really strong. The comedy's really good, especially Judd Nelson as John Bender. He is awesome in this movie, and he's hilarious. And yeah, the drama's really good. The dynamics of these characters, learning about these characters is just so interesting and riveting to watch. And every single time I watch this movie, I always just feel for these characters, and I always have a great time. It's not a long movie. It's only an hour and 35-minute movie. And yeah, it's a great movie to put on every now and then and just have a blast watching. And I love this movie. And by the way, I am actually on the side of the principal. I know the principal's like the unlikable dick, but honestly, look at all this shit these kids do in this school. They do a lot of damage, and they're complete dicks. Anyways, yeah, Breakfast Club, awesome movie, well written, well directed, great John Hughes movie, great characters, great comedy, great drama, and an amazing teen movie. Love the Breakfast Club. Don't you forget about me. Coming in number 8 is the movie Clueless. Yes, Clueless. This is a very, very teen kind of movie. Like, if you do not like teen movies, you will hate this movie, because this is all about teens and in high school and basically in a rich neighborhood. Yes, you could say these characters are kind of annoying because they all act like douchebags. Yeah, they kind of do, but they're freaking hilarious to watch. This movie is a satire of also teen movies. It's a satire of itself. It's a teen movie, but it's also satirizing teen movies, which makes it funny. This movie is really, really funny. It's hilarious. This movie is written and directed by Amy Hecklin, who actually did my number one. She directed my number one. Spoilers. But yeah, I like Amy Hecklin. I like her style. I love how she makes teen movies. She makes them very, very funny. And this movie is hilarious. And yeah, you got Alicia Silverstone in this movie as the character Cher. Fun fact, Sarah Michelle Gellar was actually originally going to play the main character Cher. She should have, because I would have actually, I could picture Sarah Michelle Gellar playing this lead role. But we got Alicia Silverstone, and she's fine. She's good. I can't stand her as an actress, but she's good in this movie. And then Breckin Meyer's good. Brittany Murphy, Garbage to Soul, she's good in this movie. And Paul Rudd's okay. And I love her dad in this movie. Her dad is freaking hilarious in this movie. Yeah, especially that scene. He's like, I have a shovel and a 45. No one will miss you, man. No one will miss you. Like, love that guy. He's kind of a dick, but I can picture, yep, that's gonna be me when I'm 60. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Coming number 7 is Mean Girls. Yes, so fetch. I love this movie. Tina Fey wrote this movie. She did a fantastic job. The writing in this movie is just so good. These characters are so well written, and these jokes are just so funny and so clever. I love this movie. This movie is so freaking funny. This is when Lindsay Lohan was doing good shit. Like, yeah, when she did, like, The Parent Trap and Freaky Friday, she did Mean Girls, which is her best movie. This movie is awesome. Actually, this movie is not just for women. This is actually for a lot of guys. A lot of guys like this movie just as much as girls do, and it's awesome. I love watching a movie just about a girl entering high school for the first time, and she's like 16, but since she's been homeschooled, she's entering high school for the first time, and she's like, this is how high school people act? And the truth is, yeah, this movie actually shows you a perfect adaptation of how high school people act. And yeah, high school people are idiots, and we all have certain cliques, you know, the jocks, the nerds, the popular girls, the burnouts and shit. This movie just showed it so well, and it's so freaking funny. These characters are hilarious. The plastics are hilarious. Lizzie Kaplan's hilarious. Katie Hare and Lindsay Lohan's character, she's hilarious. And yeah, I love the teachers. I like Tim Meadows is funny. Tina Fey is funny. So many characters in this movie are just so freaking funny. And the quotes in this movie, the jokes are so funny. Don't have sex. Don't have sex in the missionary position. Don't have sex at all. Just don't do it, promise. Text the brothers. You will get chlamydia and die. And let's not forget, fall for you, Glen Coco, you go, Glen Coco. It's actually a quotable movie. I quote this all the time, and yeah, I love Mean Girls. So good. So fetch. Coming in number 6 is Say Anything. Yes, written and directed by Cameron Crowe. I love this movie. Like, as you saw in my, chick flicks, this is such a fantastic movie. This is one of Cameron Crowe's best movies. John Cusack in this movie plays a guy named Lloyd, and basically he's just like an average Joe guy. He wants to be a kickboxer. And basically, he's always had a crush on this girl. She's not really a popular girl. She's a valedictorian, and yeah, he wants to spend his entire summer with her. That's all he wants to do. And basically, he tells her that, and basically that's what they do. This entire movie is them spending the summer with each other, falling in love, experiencing new things. Well, she gets to experience new things. She gets to experience parties, true love, sex, and he actually gets to experience someone who actually genuinely cares for him, which is something he always wants. The chemistry between these two is very, very good. And, her father, they could have easily made him a very unlikable character, but he was a very sympathetic character. He does a couple of unlikable things. If you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but he gets his karma in the end. His performance is really good, and he actually is a likable character, and I did like him in the movie. But John Cusack was the best in this movie. He was very good. The chemistry between the two leads is what makes this movie good, and just interesting, and funny. This movie actually has a lot of good comedy, this movie. Jeremy Piven is a very small role, and he's very funny, and I just really like Say Anything. It's a very good movie, and it's Cameron Crowe. Cameron Crowe can write just good characters, good comedy, and good drama, and yeah, I love Say Anything. I don't have a quote for you, so beatbox in the air. Come back to me. Coming number 5 is the movie Heathers. Yes, this movie is dark. This is one of the first dark teen comedies. This movie is messed up, but I loved every minute of this sick, twisted, hilarious movie. This movie stars Winona Ryder and Christian Slater, and basically these two people, this is almost like God Bless America. This actually came out way before God Bless America, but basically these two people kill kids in their high school. Basically, the unlikable kids, the popular girls, the popular guys, because basically all they're doing is ruining society and making this high school a dark and miserable place. But yeah, then they eventually stop, because then Winona Ryder realizes that Christian Slater is a sociopath, and he is a sociopath. And honestly, the way they tell this story it's really darkly funny. Like how they present it, how they direct it, how it's written and executed. It was a lot of fun to watch, and this movie is just so funny. Winona Ryder, she may be a little unlikable, but she's probably the most likablest person in this movie, because this movie is filled with unlikable characters, because it's basically showing you the dark side of high school in a very comedic way, and it just works. I love this movie. It's such a funny movie. It's a well-acted movie, and the climax of this movie, I did not expect that to happen. Jesus Christ. But yeah, this movie's hilarious. It's funny, it's dark, it's twisted. I love this movie. And yeah, if you want to fuck the Eagles, you gotta learn how to fly first. My God, that was weird. Next. Coming number 4 is Risky Business. Yes, Tom Cruise, Risky Business. As you saw in my favorite Tom Cruise movies, this is my favorite Tom Cruise movie. I love Risky Business. This movie is awesome. It's about a bunch of teenagers, and their parents are out of town, so what do? They start their own brothel. Yes, they make their own whorehouse, which is something I always wanted to do as a teenager. I never did. Oh, regrets. Like I said, my top 10 Tom Cruise movies. This is just the kind of movie I could put on a bunch of times and just never get sick of. This always puts a smile on my face, and it just always entertains me, and I've always loved this movie. Ever since I've been younger, I loved Risky Business, and yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Check it out if you have not seen it. Because you know what? What the fuck? Number 3 is Dazed and Confused. Yes, the stoner teen comedy, Dazed and Confused. This movie is written and directed by Richard Linklater. I love Richard Linklater. This is one of his best movies. This is probably his funniest movie, because this movie is hilarious. So freaking funny. I love this movie. I love the characters. I love the jokes. I love everything they go through, and it's awesome. You want to see Ben Affleck as an asshole? Watch this movie. You want to see Matthew McConaughey as a stoner? Watch this movie. You want to see that guy T.S. from Mallrats be a actually decent main character in a movie? See this movie. You want to see Joey Lauren Adams talk weird like she does in all her movies? See this movie. Funny. Yeah, this movie is very, very funny. I love the characters. I love the comedy. It's a well-written movie, a well-directed movie, and yeah, I just love it. Love this movie. That's the best thing about high school girls. I keep getting older. They stay the same age. Alright. Coming number 2 is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Yes, this movie came out in 2012, and it blew me away when I first saw this movie. I didn't know what to expect with this movie. I know Steven Chbosky wrote the novel, and he wrote and directed this movie. I'm like, I never read the book, so I don't know if this movie's going to be good or not. And if the book is good, how do I know this is a loyal adaptation to the book? I saw this movie anyways, and I was blown away by this movie. It was so freaking good. The story was real. The writing was awesome. The direction was fantastic. The performances by both Logan Lerman, Emma Watson, and Ezra Miller were fantastic. They were both great actors, and they were both playing such likable, interesting characters, three-dimensional characters. And I loved this movie. I read the books too, and it's fascinating. This movie is just awesome. It's a fantastic movie, beautifully written, beautifully told. And I'll have you crying, but then I'll have you smiling. And yeah, it's just all over because it's like a roller coaster ride, and it's just awesome. Perks of Being a Wallflower is an amazing movie, one of the greatest teen movies I've ever watched, and it's fantastic. I love Perks of Being a Wallflower. Check it out if you have not seen it. It's so good. And if you're writing a novel, you should call it The Slut and the Falcon. You would understand that quote if you've seen this movie. And my number 1 favorite teen movie is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Yes. Bow, pff, bow, pff, bow, bow, pff, bow. It's very porno music. Yes, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. This is an awesome movie. This is the funniest teen comedy movie. As you see my top 10 favorite comedies, this is one of my all-time favorite comedies. And it's awesome. I love this movie. It's written by Cameron Crowe. Love Cameron Crowe. It's directed by Amy Heckerling. Love Amy Heckerling. And it's starring Sean Penn. Love Sean Penn. And he plays a stoner surfer dude named Jeff Spicoli. Seriously, bro. Honestly, I'm glad it got like a cult following. Now it's like a cult classic comedy. And a lot of people love this movie. And it's amazing. This movie is fantastic. It's so freaking funny, and I love these characters. And yeah, Brad and Jeff Spicoli are my 2 favorite characters. Judge Reinhold and Sean Penn both are awesome in this movie. And yes, those actresses are also very good. What are their names? Phoebe Cates plays the girl, and she's very attractive. Especially the pool scene. Bow, pff, bow, pff, bow, no, no. Does anyone ever fucking knock? Oh, Brad, you gross bastard. But yeah, if you love teen movies, you love 80s movies, and you love comedies, check Fast Times at Ridgemont High out. It's fantastic, and I love this movie. And So yeah, that was my top 10 favorite teen movies. So yeah, please comment below. Give me your top 10 favorite teen movies. What do you think are the best teen movies? Comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.